All right, good now. All right. We'll be right back.
Jordan! Your daughter's in the house. I hope you know that. Your fucking daughter's in the house. Get through a
Wrong one! Hold on!
We don't need an intro.
No, wrong one! Wrong one! Hold on. I spent a long time on this last night. Hold on. Just give me a second. Why is this so slow? God damn you. Hold on. Come on. Now, just give it a second. It'll fucking...
3-1 odds there's a Windows update during this.
If it does, I'm gonna fucking kill it. I swear to God. I'll just shoot it. Come on, fucker. Start. Oh, my lord. Is this...
Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Rapid Radio.
Okay, Mike, that was actually very well done.
Yeah,
Jeez, that was actually that was... How are you able to do that? Because I've seen you edit before.
Well, no, I've gotten better over the years.
4 decades, I would hope.
Well, you know, that's just...
What did you think? That was actually...
Well, it wasn't the worst thing I've ever watched.
Well, no, what I did was I actually recorded, because, you know, on the website, I have like some of the Blog Talk episodes. So I recorded the intro and I just synced up the Donald thing and then the clips and all that stuff. And that was it. Yeah.
The only thing I would say, just use what I did in that Halloween 2 tribute with Coming Closer, and then that big, you know, all the parts hit when Loomis flicks the lighter and the big explosion.
Well, if I had that, I don't know if I had that available or if I thought to look for it, but yeah, I would. I like that.
But everything else, I was impressed. It's the first time I ever said like impressed in Michael J.
I know. Holy shit! It's wow.
Is that editing skill going to be on the next Camp Out Nightmare movie?
Oh,
we can hope, but you know, yeah, we can hope.
I'm still waiting for all the other Camp Out Nightmares to be in my mailbox that you promised me last year.
Yeah, I finally got mine 2 weeks ago.
Did you give me your address, or did you not give me your address?
I have Cole's address if you need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me your address. I'll make sure it gets out. They'll get out to you because
All right.
Really well. He will gladly send it to you.
Oh, I will, because I sent them to him. I don't know if he watched. He probably didn't watch them. I wouldn't watch them either. But you know, I mean, they're nicely put together discs.
I can see this. You can return anything at Walmart without a receipt.
Exactly.
It's pretty amazing.
Ah.
Yeah, I got a Prime Energy drink and some used tampons. Not bad. Not a bad exchange. I do want to hear, because Mike earlier in the day said, I have a story for you I've been holding onto as if it's the greatest thing ever. Mike's exact words were, I've got a story for you tonight. I can't wait for your reaction. I said, I'll be prepared. I know you'll handle it great. It happened last week, so I've been saving it. So what's this fantastic story?
I've been saving it. Okay, so you know when you poop, or you know when you shit, right? When you like sit down on the toilet, do you tuck or not tuck, or do you tuck or not tuck?
I just let it hit the front of the toilet.
Yeah, but you got it. You can't. Well, see,
Dick's on the toilet bowl.
See, okay, well, my thing is, I don't tuck it because it just feels weird when I tuck it. So I don't tuck it. I just sit and I let it just like sit. Wait, but so hold on. So I'm on the bowl and I'm doing my business, and all of a sudden I feel something shoot up at me. And then I realized that as I'm shitting, I'm pissing,
That will
and this is hitting me, almost hitting me in the face, and I just don't know how it happened.
it's
Wait, do you not normally pee and poop at the same time?
No. I strictly have a rule where I don't do that. I piss before or I piss after. I don't piss during. So when that happened during, my whole world just came crashing down as it is because I was not expecting that at all.
I feel like it's a natural body combination for one thing to happen during the other. Like mine
See,
just like when I shit, I just piss it's just like a normal reaction to me shitting.
and that's a
right,
story.
and that's well that's the story because I pretty much almost pissed in my face. I pissed in my own face almost because it shot up there. It was a pretty like strong stream. I think that's because I've started eating a lot of protein, and I think it just shoots out like I don't know.
I
Stronger.
don't think eating protein has
Strong.
anything to do with you pissing.
Yeah, no.
Well,
that's the story.
well, maybe I drank a lot of water. Yeah,
That
was-
probably has a lot to
drank
do
a
with
lot
you
of
pissing.
water,
Yeah.
and then but it's just it seemed weird to me because I've never done it at the same time before. It's always been before or after, never during. So I don't know why that is. You know, it's weird. I don't approve. Why does it happen during?
You're getting old, Mike.
Can I stop it from happening during? Because I
I'm
don't
going
like
to try to save this story by saying, make sure everybody's aware. April 2nd is the start of it's Autism Speaks. Autism, needs to be noticed, and these wonderful people can do a lot of great work. Don't use Mike as the example, but they can do a lot of great work in this world. Remember, April is Autism Awareness Month.
I mean, it could be.
No,
I'm
it is.
no.
You're just autistic. You're very autistic.
I'm just shocked. I mean, that's happened to you before?
Yeah, it happens to every single pretty much American and Nigerian and Canadian and Brazilians, Ethiopians as well. While they're doing it in the dirt, they have to dig to do that in. Russians, Ukrainians.
That makes
South
sense.
Africans.
And you don't drink beer anymore, correct? Cole, do you drink beer?
Oh, yes, he does.
Not as much as I used to.
Cole has the diabetes.
It's true.
He's diabetic.
So I stick to high noons and White Claws.
I've never had either. But
You
because
probably like
I like
a White Claw.
spice. It sounds like a woman's drink. I don't know if I can do that.
Well, just
Or a diabetic's drink.
Yeah. Right, yeah, I'm sure the people that live with you, they probably have a few in their fridge next to their vote stickers.
I wouldn't debate it. Probably they do. I don't know. I haven't spoken to them in 3 months.
You should see it's a nice thin can, and when you're done, you can sit on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you really open up the anus cavity. All right.
Yeah, there you go. Mike just dived into the joke there.
Well, because like I got this pumpkin spice beer because I like pumpkin spice, so I figured if I got a beer flavored pumpkin spice, that I would drink it and I would like it because I love pumpkin shit. I love it. I always have. So I opened the bottle. First off, it took me about 45 minutes to open the bottle because it wasn't a twist off.
You not have a bottle opener?
Yeah.
No, because when I was cleaning stuff out before, somebody took it. So I ended up getting a fork and I jammed the fork into the bottle cap after I twisted it and got it loose. Then I jammed the fork into it, cut my finger up pretty bad as I was doing so. Then that didn't work. So then I tried to leverage it against the counter and just like push down on it and pop the cap off that way. That just got a lot of like foam coming out that I proceeded to suck off the bottle.
I really wish there was a time that Jason Voorhees would have helped you find that bottle opener.
Yeah. Have we ever considered putting Mike into a home?
I mean,
assisted living, at least.
And that's the messed up part. He's pretty much he can live on his own.
Well, people like to think that, but
I'm not convinced.
I mean, I opened up the beer. I got it open finally, and I drank it, and it just tasted like beer. There was no pumpkin to it whatsoever. It just
What brand was it? Was it a famous brand?
It was a Sam Adams. Sam Adams pumpkin ale.
Wait, hold on. I figured out the problem. You were on there 45 minutes. That beer was out. It became room temperature.
Yeah, well, then what I did, before I drank it, but before I drank it, I put it in the freezer. After I got the cap off, I put it back in the freezer for like 15 minutes.
Yeah, Cole, you bartended. Even you don't have to be a bartender to know this, but he skunked that beer. It went from room temp. It came out cold to room temperature, and then you tried freezing it. Yeah,
you ruined any kind of flavor that beer would have probably had. You ruined it by doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with Sam Adams.
Yeah. Because Sam Adams is usually pretty flavorful, even for like a pretty high-end, not high-end, but pretty common company. So, like, I don't know, their summer lager's pretty decent. Like, it tastes fine. Mm-hmm. Their pumpkin beers are usually not terrible. But taking it out from the cold, letting it get warm, it can affect the taste, not a ton, but then when you try to freeze it,
that's where it's done.
That's where the yeast and everything else in there, and
plus the cap is all bad. Now, even that, now you're Oh God,
so if you would have just drank it after getting it, it would have actually tasted really great.
Really? So now, okay, so I have, so it's a 6-pack. So I have 4 bottles right now that I did not skunk, as you call it. If I get one of those 4 bottles, and just because I got a bottle opener now, just today before we started, I got a bottle opener. So when I open the bottle, so now what I figure I can do is just you put the bottle opener thing on the cap, and then you just pop it off. It's not going to.
Congratulations! You're doing something you do at the age of 10 with root beer, where you had to have
correct.
Okay, I could never work a bottle opener in my life, so I should record this tonight because I'm going to do it probably after the program. And
I hope you have a stand for the phone.
No,
that's even worse.
I don't have a stand.
What you can do is you can put that beer back in the fridge and let it get kind of cool, and it should still kind of retain some of that flavor, depending on how old it is. I don't know how old.
Oh no, I drank it. I drank it all. I drank the bad beer. I drank the whole bottle. It took me about an hour and a half because it tasted just like beer, and I don't like the taste of beer, but it just tasted like beer.
No. So I'm talking about the rest of the 6-pack that you have.
Yeah.
How old is it?
It's not that old. It's only maybe a week and a half. So it's in the fridge. I didn't open any of the other bottles, aside from one.
The rest
of the attempted to open, I think, is done, but the other 4 should be okay.
What you want to do? Take it out, bottle opener, enjoy it. Just don't
put it in an ice glass.
Yeah. And pour on this small little thing on the side slowly. You're going to keep that empty bottle. You've done that beer. Once you take that bottle, break it, and just jam it
straight in your jugular.
Yes.
Yeah.
It will.
Yeah. I think that's worth it.
That's how you're a real man drinks a beer.
Okay. I concur. Let's do it.
I would definitely try that. It would be.
I'm going to give it a shot.
It'd be highly emotional.
Hey, I've been looking for ways to join Donald, so let's get there.
Yeah. So were your parents when they were alive.
Well, that's what we're doing.
That's fair.
I enjoy it.
I did a rare thing. I'm getting a little bit better at this. I watched the last Scream movie. And I liked it a lot.
6?
The one,
6?
yeah, from 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With Samara Weaving's fat ass in it in the beginning.
You have to have some kind of entertainment.
It's true. I actually enjoyed 6 more than I did 5 for sure.
Oh, 100%. I agree with you.
5 was a disaster.
I didn't even watch 5. I just saw that was the latest, and I forgot about 5 halfway through. I'm watching it because I'm looking stuff up online about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, there's 5. I was like, it's too late. I'm going to continue with this. It was nice to, one, I had time to watch something brand new, because if I have a little bit of free time, I go with what's comfortable, and if I know I get interrupted, which is no big deal, hey, I've already seen this movie 1,000 times.
Right.
I had, a couple hours to myself. So let me watch this, and then after that, I put on the movie that was supposed to be a movie in 1989. It's now pretty much like a documentary in 2024. A movie called They Live. My God, was John Carpenter on it?
Yeah. He was well aware of what was going to happen later on. That's for sure.
And that's one of those, you can't, like, one side of the aisle can't say that movie's about the other. It's the whole spectrum. That's what's beautiful.
Right.
That's the beauty. And John Carpenter's, he's a Democrat. Listen to him, and who cares? That's his views. And he saw it as, really, it was the way of looking at Reagan, that Reagan era, which was very true.
Yeah.
And that movie still holds up. And that fight scene that everybody talks about is the reason everybody still talks about it, because I counted 3 suplexes in it. 3 suplexes in a street fight. You had a corkscrew driver suplex, a regular old school style wrestling suplex, and then a back suplex, a teardrop.
Like a German, right?
There wasn't a German. There was a teardrop. That was Shawn Michaels' original finishing move when he became a singles wrestler. And quick story on that, Shawn Michaels used to do the super kick as a signature move, and then his finisher was the teardrop back suplex. And then Pat Patterson said, just end with the super kick.
Yeah.
Like, that's all you need. And that was around 93, late 93, started doing that. So, yeah, it's still great. Like, there's some old movies that just still hold up, and others I go back to watch, and I know it's not the same.
Yeah.
And new movies, I can't. And it's just on me. There's probably 4 that I've started in a couple months, and I can't get through it because it's bad. And I'm talking about horror movies. And I put that more on me because older, life has changed. I'm not the audience. Like, we have to realize I'm not always going to be their audience or target. Like, it's just like, but Cole, at least you and Mike, you both still watch new stuff all the time.
It's kind of all I watch. I mean, because I don't mind watching it. Like, if I'm working or something, like, I'll put something that I've already seen on in the background. Just like you said, like, if I get distracted, whatever, I know what's going on, I can pick it back up, no problem. But yeah, I kind of strictly only watch new stuff because I'm kind of like you now, where I'm at a point in my life where I'm working 2 jobs, working full time, and then I work one at night, and like, I just don't have a lot of time. So like, when I sit down, I want to watch something new that I haven't seen that'll keep my interest for an hour and a half to 2 hours. So, and I like to stay up on times on like what's new, what do people like, what do I like anymore? Because sometimes, I can go a couple months without seeing something new, and I don't even know, what my interests are anymore, because it's always changing, right? Just like you said. So, yeah. I mean, I just definitely, like, it's easier for me to sit down and watch something new than it is something old. Unless it's like Halloween time, like now, when I can sit down and watch every Halloween film ever made 85 times this month. You know what I mean? Like that's a little bit different. But throughout the rest of the year, I like to just watch stuff that's new. And a lot of the new stuff gets me excited, like Long Legs. That had an incredible campaign, coming out. So to go see that in theater was incredible.
What about Smile 2? That looks like a pile of shit.
I didn't like the first one. My wife did, and she wants to go see it in the theater, and I have no interest, zero interest.
Yeah, it's one of those you have to like bite the bullet, go type of like at least with like the cunt I'm with, like she's not like let's go watch 50 Shades of Grey,
right?
She hoarded up in her 20s. So she has no
situations in there. That's good.
Yeah, it's like our role playing now is, hey, you come home and you're stable and you don't have a drinking problem. Sounds good. And I want you to not be a cunt, and the house is clean. Perfect.
Great. Fantastic.
Shit, it's like it's two people. We fucking hoarded up.
Right.
There's like. I don't have to watch shitty fucking like Lifetime movies. Don't have to watch that shit.
Yeah.
And
my wife's not like a big movie person in general, so like I don't get dragged to like that shit either all the time. Like it's always me dragging her to go see a horror film in theater because like I actually want to go sit in a theater and see it on a big screen and that sort of thing. But it's very few and far between anymore, though. Honestly, it's just the comfortability from home that I like, that I can just sit in my recliner, watch something new. Didn't like it. I didn't spend any money on it,
Yeah, and for me personally, when there's very, very select foods I really can't have and I shouldn't. Popcorn is one, and that was the only reason I was going to the theater. I just went to get the popcorn. Now I can't. I'm like, I'm not going. And I've also always had, I think it's because grew up in wasn't the worst area, but the theaters were just badlands. There's a lot of times I dodged. Like I was there on the right day. I didn't go the day after when there was a shooting or a stabbing. I always had that fear in the theater if something like that would happen. Then when this awful events in Aurora, Colorado happened.
Right.
I have odd fears like that. Is why I won't go. But however, even if it's a digital copy, most likely it would be if they replay Friday the 13th from 1980, Halloween 2. I already was happy to see the first one in the theater back in 2006. I remember, Mike, you remember that? Yeah, remember the Regal Theaters replayed Halloween in 2006. And
wait, did we go to see?
We
didn't we go to see 1, 4, and 5? And I think we bailed after 4.
Probably smart.
Yeah, I know. I
we
saw.
went to see 1 and 4 together.
No, I know in 06, it was only the first one they were showing. So at the Regal, it was. I remember everything about that night because I was getting pissed off. There was 3 high school kids in front of me. I was dating this girl. They keep acting up, and I was like, yo, you fucking faggots. Here's, shut the fuck up. I just lost it. And a kid goes, you said the F word. I'm like, which one? Fuck or faggots? Like, shut the fuck up. And I'm whispering it. And and at the time, this is when I was getting sick, and I didn't know how sick I was. So I was like 170 pounds. Like, it wasn't, I don't think I could have. Them I could have. But I was just irritated. But also, the girl I was with wasn't telling me to do something about it, because if she did, I'm like, no, you do something about it. Don't try to get me in a fight. But no, they're just being. I remember that, and then they stopped, and I said thank you. Like halfway through, and they said, I'm like, thanks. I didn't want an issue, but yeah, that's what I remembered about that. But that was a good experience watching the original Halloween in the theater with people, and there were pretty good reactions. A lot of clapping, which I didn't mind because I took that as these were lifelong fans who just wanted to express their joy in a public setting with other fans. Like that, I'm cool with. I just don't like the clapping when it's a brand new movie, and people just try to do the clap at the end. The clap at the end's the worst. I forget the comic used to do that joke, like Will Smith's not in the theater, he can't hear you. Like, what are you doing for? The director's Steven Spielberg's up there. Why are you clapping?
I mean, some of my favorite things. So I just went last week to see Terrifier 3. And when the Bloody Disgusting logo popped up on the screen, people booed. Good. And I fucking laughed. Like, I laughed. I'm not a big Bloody Disgusting fan. Like, I think some of the writers are contentious pricks, and they know it. And,
I'll just say, like, the one John Squire who...
Yeah, John Squire is the main one.
Here's how you eliminate your audience. I'm somebody, and you know, Cole, with me, like, you can talk politics with me. Have I ever said, fuck you, you're fucking wrong. Right. I just want to know how you get to your ideas of it. That's all. If there's stat you're at, I'm like, ooh, that's actually not correct. And I can tell you, here's why. I never get emotional. A person like what he was doing on Twitter, and this is when I was on Twitter, he was getting too political, but he was just following everybody else's line. And you're dividing the audience, especially in 2016. And I could say, hey, Trump's a very divisive person. He is. Okay, we get it. But I also get it deeper if Trump says, oh, they're eating the cats and the dogs. I would have said, here's problem. Well, when you put 20,000 of anybody in a city of 60,000, you're going to have an issue. That's really not the smart thing to say. You would think that, but it's not smart because Trump knows how to speak in catchphrases and buzzwords to get people talking. That's his thing. I just don't take the bait. Like, no, it's not who I am.
Sure. Somebody
like John Squires would get, and other people from Bloody Disgusting would too. And most of anybody who's a blogger, writer, they're not. I don't know who's a true journalist, to be honest with you, but
they're not true journalists.
Exactly.
Like, all of those guys never went to school for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they just kind of picked it up as a hobby, which is fine and great.
Exactly.
But acknowledge that, like, don't try to act like something you're not.
Yeah. Get your sources, all that stuff. Right. And I was seeing the personal stuff. It's one thing if you feel the need to come out and say, hey, it's important to vote this November. And I'm going to vote for this candidate. Yep. Nobody should ever attack you for that. Right. But if you say I'm going to vote for this candidate and you're a scumbag if you don't, that's where there's an issue. And I was getting really turned off with everything and just how I'm a feminist. And no, you're fucking not.
Yeah.
Like my this is pretty much my wife. Like, she's all for women's rights and she's going to say she's a feminist. Like, there's no fucking way you can love this. No fucking way. I'm a feminist. Yeah. You say you're a feminist. Like, there's no fucking way. But I get what she's trying to say, and she's, she doesn't have a dykey haircut or something like you've seen her. She's, she produces a lot more boners than Viagra, and
I enjoy her. Yeah.
Well, yeah, she has a pulse. It's like Bloody Disgusting.
Does she have any friends who are into gimp love?
No, they're all sane. Yeah, they're very sane and breathtakingly beautiful. But Bloody Disgusting destroys an audience by getting political, and so far, you can't lean so far left or so far right. It turns it off.
Right.
It's the irony too.
Even if that's like his personal belief or their personal belief or whatever, that's fine. But yeah, you kind of start alienating your audience, like you said, and just like personally attacking people. I saw on Twitter all the time too, because they disagreed with him.
Oh, he never blocked me, but I just stopped when I put where he's saying, I forget the exact quote. I never screenshot it, but this is a prime example of somebody just following the flock. When he's talking about, because he's into wrestling too, and he's like the having a women's Royal Rumble is the greatest thing, and I just reply with, "Why is that?" I want to know. He says the greatest thing. I'm curious. Why is that the greatest thing? It's not even a rebuttal because I didn't start an argument. If he came back, well, there's so many women throughout the decades, and he could name names, and say now they have a spotlight for at least an hour to showcase their ability. hey, you're right. But no, it's like, what's your problem against women's wrestling?
Right.
I have no problem at it. I said the problem is men who pretend to be into it because that's the cool thing to do now.
Right.
No response.
Yeah.
That was the truth.
Yeah. And I saw him like attacking people because like he, like a movie's coming out on Friday. He's already got a hit piece out on Monday about it without even letting people fucking see it over the weekend to make their own decisions. And people are like, hey, why can't you just wait and post this, review on Sunday, or something like that? Like, let people see the film. I think it was like a Rob Zombie film, maybe like 31 or something like that. And, like something that had a very limited release in theater anyways, like a weekend or something like that, So like, and he was just attacking people like, well, this is my job. I have to do this.
No,
you don't have to be an asshole. You know what you're doing by releasing that review on Monday.
I'm sure he had a problem with Rob Zombie when he found out he didn't drive an electric car.
Yeah. It's just like, it's disappointing because like, I also kind of take it as a personal attack on Shudder. Like they launched their own streaming service of horror, right? So like instead of like horror fans all gathering at the same spot and pumping up this one fucking thing, they had to go and create their own and take shit away from, so it's taking money away from Shudder, which was the first one around, just like really petty shit that it just seemed like it didn't need to happen.
I can speak from my experience. I remember in the starting Rabbit and Red back 2010, there's movies I knew when to rip on it, but I'd also come back with, here's who I know is going to like it. It's not for me.
Right.
It would have to, I don't think there's one in particular where I really just, there's no redeeming quality. But if there's something I didn't like, I would also say this is not my type of movie, but I know people are into it, they'll love it. I wouldn't, because it's also, or if somebody's coming on to promote, when we were fortunate enough and just, we were always gracious to interview anybody we could. They were having a film coming out. And it was just going to be a minor release. I didn't care. I cared in a sense of whatever I could do to help. I'm curious now, what is it like to make the movie? I want to find out the person's background. It made me want to watch the film. And that was always sometimes my little joke to anybody I interviewed before the film came out. There was one I think Mike and I had a copy of, and I said I didn't want to watch it in case if I hated it, I didn't want to skew the interview. The director laughed. He understood.
Yeah.
I was like, hey, I could love it, but at the same time, I want to go in here neutral.
Right.
I want to be pumped up now to see it. It's. I do believe, and I've seen this, years, especially open mics. I could tell, and it was always dudes. The dudes who were, and this is the opposite thing. This is the funny thing with comedy being on stage versus writing an article and having power. Because if you get 5 minutes of stage time, you have power for 5 minutes. The dudes who were like me in high school, I was the quote unquote funny one. Just my friends. And I kind of hung out with everybody, but it was not the most popular. That wasn't me. I didn't date in high school. I kissed one girl by the age of 18. I was scared to talk to women. That's just, and I'm glad because it developed me a personality. But the dudes like, the shy ones, the nerdy ones, they're the funniest fucking comics because there's nothing else to lose. We got nothing to hide. Then the people who are on the same thing and they go into writing get a little bit of power. Yeah. They perceive power and they want to hold it against anybody and everyone. That's the issue. Same thing. That's what I got tired of doing a podcast because I was in this realm of people who thought what they said mattered more than anybody else. I never felt that way. And Mike can test this. When in one time did I ever say, well, I'm the greatest to ever do this, or I'm untouchable? The only time I said it was untouchable might have been, and it came to a microphone. Comparing myself to few people on a particular platform. and I could back it up. But yeah, I would hear other
Also,
shows.
horror stuff, maybe that was.
Yeah, the horror bid stuff.
Yeah, that's the only time. But I could back that up. That was because I was getting tired of the crap, and I feel bad for oh God, Uncle Creepy and one of the originators of horror podcasting who started it, really helped start it all, and they got out when the thing was starting to boom, and those two men did so much work. That's and now I don't know how it is. I don't listen to other people, but the majority of the time when I would listen around, it was almost the same thing. It was like, well, my opinion is the best in the world. You should listen to me. And we don't care about anybody else. All right. I was always self-aware. There's a reason I would always bring up Halloween 2 at a certain point because I wanted to continue this streak, and I was hoping like anybody could pick up on a joke. Like I wanted somebody to say, "Oh, this guy talks about his Halloween 2." That was a joke. Like the joke now. Look at the shirt I'm wearing.
Right. That was the bit.
That was the.
Yeah.
But it was the bit without being the bit. Without.
Right.
It was subtle. That was the thing. Versus Michael J. Hey, Mike, how's the weather? Well, it was 76 today. Speaking of the number 6, I was watching Halloween 6 today because it would have been Donald's 90th wedding anniversary with his wife Angus Trutridge.
Well, you know what? For you just saying that though, we did just pass his 105th birthday.
Oh, he would be so
proud.
That day that was.
I did. I think it's the Halloween of what's my wheelhouse. October 19th, 2018 was a date I kept in mind for close to a year. This is what a sick individual I was. I was going through horrible health in 2017. My goal was I got to survive to get to October 19th, 2018 to watch the new Halloween film. That was one of my biggest goals. I had a little list in my head. Gain the weight back, get the health, watch Halloween. I want to be healthy enough to go to the theater and watch Halloween. That was the last time I was in a theater. And I watched it alone. And walked out of that theater and I felt pretty damn good. I was like, okay. All right, better than I thought it could be. And this is where Mike has his own theory on Halloween, of the 3 Halloween films. Why don't you phrase it? How do you think the studio, what did they purposely do? What were you texting me last night? That they were trolling people, trying to piss off fans?
Well, yeah, with Halloween Ends, that was the goal.
It was
because Halloween, here's the thing. Halloween 2018, I liked when it first was released. Like the first time I saw it, I thought it was good. I saw it 2 other times in the theater, I think. I thought it was, still good. Then as time went on and I bought it digitally and I watched it again and I was like,
it sucks.
I really don't like Jamie Lee Curtis in this because H2O was a much better, and as much as I didn't like H2O back in the day,
same here.
I'd be all over H2O now.
And Cole's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
I've been there since day one.
Yeah. Mike,
day one.
What Halloween 2 is to me, what Halloween 6 is to you, that's Cole's is H2O.
Mine is H2O. It'll always be that. And even when I saw 18, I was like, there's no fucking way Laurie Strode stays in that fucking town.
I was afraid. I texted you. I'm like, why didn't she fucking move?
Yeah, and it is so afraid of this man that then later on in the later films, they set up that he didn't even give a shit about her. He only got out because the doctor let him out, caused the fucking bus crash. And then in Kills, he's off killing random people. He's not even after Laurie Strode. She's sitting in a fucking bed the entire time. And then it ends, Laurie Strode is over it. All of a sudden, after the 40 years that she's fucking speared this man.
Well,
and
there was a 4-year gap in between. Well, supposedly a 4-year gap in between, and kills and ends, and that's
right.
But still,
But
that's not.
But
a
Michael
lot of
didn't
time
go
to
after
get
her.
over that.
Well, I can
Michael
explain.
was still in Haddonfield. Didn't go after her.
Let me.
Like,
And they weren't related. They weren't related either, and that's the fucking
Right.
like.
But
really,
I can
he's
explain all
nobody
this.
to her.
I'm going to explain all this. So Myers, after let's start with Halloween Kills. This is also an 18 as well. Halloween and Halloween Kills shares a big thing together. Nearly every single male character is so effeminate. Anybody else pick up on that? Every male character is
the Dave guy, Dave especially. I could see that. He's like,
Yeah.
oh.
Yeah.
You got the one kid with the father, like, I just like to dance. It's my thing. Okay. We established that. And then you had the whole, gender transformation for Bonnie and Clyde. You put the one actor in a dress. There's not a strong male character. Why? When do we see strong women in fucking movies? I think there's an issue. Oh, you're going to say Secret Service? There's some footage of that back in July you should watch. I'm not saying that there's no strong women in the real world. There are. But when you're trying to put it into the movie, you could still have a strong male character and a strong female character. Just watch Sigourney Weaver.
Right.
And Tom Skerritt. That's perfect.
You make a great point, because I don't remember a strong character for male. Like even the sheriff is kind of like a wimpy bitch. Like the doctor is frail. Like, like he's like the only strong male character is Michael.
Yeah.
But even by the time Ends rolls around, Michael's a little sad bitch too.
Yeah, he's living in a sewer.
Great writing, by the way. Great fucking writing.
And that's okay. I'll get to. Let me go flash to. Let me just go to Kills. Kills takes place right after the events just happened in Halloween 2018.
Right.
You have Michael Myers. I believe the body count. I believe I counted correctly, and I looked it up online too. It keeps coming to number 30. So he's in that the house is burning down, which the fire looked a lot worse at the end of Halloween than it does at the start of Kills. There's a continuity. There's an issue there with the CGI. You send about
still a great scene though. I think if you're gonna take anything away from Kills, is at least that cold opening, and with Michael coming out of the house burning. It's a fucking cool backdrop, and he looks awesome. And he's kind of a badass.
I'll give you but the problem, I give you that on his own as view it on his own as a scene of just a body count scene. Hey, that's an A+.
Yeah.
But I'm always going to live in a world of logic.
Sure.
It's why it took me how many failed relationships that I have. Why? Because I use logic. That doesn't work with a lot of women. You can't use that. So logically, I'm going, okay, this guy's about 60, 61 years old. And out of nowhere, now he knows karate. Because he's doing some martial arts move while killing those firefighters, by the way.
With like the pickaxe and shit.
Yeah. And out of nowhere, it's funny how there's about 8 or 10 of them. And instead of all going out to, all of them go to, no, they go one by one.
Right.
One by one. I grew up watching a lot of ninja movies, especially the American Ninja series, Michael Dudikoff.
Right.
Dudikoff would have like 5 ninjas around him. At least 3 would go first to try to attack him. You'd kill him and then finish off the other 2. That made sense. Sure. There was better direction in a fucking American Ninja movie.
Well, I mean, you also got to think that these are firefighters, and they're probably they're probably shocked at what's happening, right? Like I would be. I don't, but
I get that, but now logic kicks back in. Michael Myers is still 61, and he's doing this with in-shape firefighters. And so the kills keep happening. Here's another horrible thing. this was just awful. Which I love to go to the hospital scene, and first we go to the bar scene because in the bar they flash on the TV a photo of Myers who escaped and the other person who escaped.
Yeah,
we as the audience cannot see their faces because they blur it, but of course the people in the bar can see it, and anybody watching the TV can see their faces. Then we flash forward to the hospital scene where the guy looks like the Penguin, Danny DeVito style, circa 1991 Batman returns. He shows up to the hospital, and everybody thinks that's Myers. That's started by Tommy Doyle, because that guy's a genius. Evil dies tonight. That's
a rough.
He ruined it.
Yeah,
ruined the majority of the movie.
Is that
I
I
should have got
actually
Paul Rudd back.
It would have helped slightly, but Paul's smart. I'm sure Paul Rudd's smart to not. They wouldn't even attempt to go, hey, no.
Yeah.
But Tommy Doyle, even the last time you saw Myers, you were a little kid. There's a big height difference there between you got like a 6'2", 6'3" Myers and a guy who's maybe 5'3". In the hospital gown, disheveled.
Yeah.
It's not. Let's go, and the guy kills himself. In that scene didn't even need. They didn't even have to have two people escape. They could have had two people escape. They already caught one. They didn't have to. That was a downer of a scene. It
was really. It's still really tough to watch because you're just like, this guy's killing himself because he's scared, right? Like,
that's where you don't need it because there's certain movies like I love the remake of The Blob, but I have a tough time watching it because there's so many people that you care about, and that's a great job by the director on that film. You have so many people you care about. Yes, you care about these people. You don't want to see that young kid die at the. Oh no! But that's a great. That's just everything's perfect. Right. This was just so sad. You're like, fucking no. Then, genius of Tommy Doyle. He's prepared for this night. Supposedly, he's prepared. So prepared, he doesn't have a weapon. And
he gets the baseball bat from the bar.
Oh yeah, he has. Yeah, but I know it's hard to believe that,
which is clearly going to kill Michael, who's taking bullets and everything else at this point.
And we all know it's a big fact. It's a huge fact that everybody in the Midwest they don't like firearms there. It's just well known that Illinois would not have a huge firearm population. That's if it was in Hollywood, California, we know everybody there loves firearms, and they would be armed to the teeth.
Compton.
Exactly, they would. He's not prepared, so he wants to get everybody in the group, and he's going around recruiting people. By the way, it turns out it's pretty easy to get a mob together to kill somebody in Haddonfield. That's how that works. And he says, he's been terrorizing this town for 40 years. He killed, if you want to count the mechanic outside the town, he killed a total of 4 people one night, really 3, 5 altogether.
Right, because 2 didn't happen, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It would make more sense if he added 2 with the events, but he killed 3 teenagers in 1978, and that terrorized the town. They never forgot about it. It's not like there's been awful crimes in Center City we kind of know about, but nobody's I'm forgetting the guy's name. Ira Einhorn. I was in his apartment back in 2001. He was already in jail. The house was, of course, sold again. That house at the time was used by it was rented by college students who went to Drexel University. I partied there, and it was legit Ira Einhorn's house. And the guy's got one. They wanted that one particular because it's Ira Einhorn's house. He killed somebody. But nobody in Drexel nobody's scared.
Right.
Drexel's a very well-to-do area in Philadelphia. And that murder was horrific what he did.
Yeah, because they make it seem like, right, in Halloween that Haddonfield is such a small town in the original, which they do a really great job of making it feel like a great community.
Yeah.
But there's exterior shots of Haddonfield when you're watching kills that make it look like like Pittsburgh, like a giant fucking city.
Great point on that. Especially outside the bar.
So not everyone in Haddonfield can be terrified of this. Like if it like just the exterior shots of the city, it looks massive. Like I grew up in a small town of 1,500 people. I know what a fucking small town is. Haddonfield feels like that in the very first Halloween. It does not feel like that in David Gordon Green's Halloweens. And so you can't tell me that these fucking people, that everyone is scared of Michael Myers because he killed 3 people on one night.
I'm sure the first interracial marriage in Haddonfield probably shocked more people than 3 people getting killed.
Right, exactly.
Remember when Jamal married Marlene? Oh my God! Then they had their pitchforks.
Right. Especially just it doesn't make like that town does not feel small, especially in kills and even in ends. Ends feels massive.
And you grew up in a small town. I grew up first 13 years living in the city of Philly. And when I moved to the suburbs, I remember just riding my bike around. And then especially when I went to high school in a place called Doylestown, Central Bucks West was in the middle of this these older homes, all spaced out very well. That reminded me of, it looked like Haddonfield from Halloween 1.
Yeah.
And I loved it. And then when I was growing up, I had the feel of Halloween 4. That was that's a great example of how to have a small town feel, because that drugstore, perfect.
That literally felt like my hometown, because like I grew up on a farm, obviously, and so like going into town, like I would pass exact farmhouses like that to get into the city. So it's like the Halloween 4 has the best opening sequence of any film of all time, I think. So
it set the tone, perfect choice of music. But with kills, the other thing that bothered me with Tommy Doyle getting the mob together is then they start splitting off into smaller killable groups.
Right.
Which I get. Okay. Now I'm going to just go to the end. Let me hold on. Let me go back to feminine characters. You have, it's fine you have a gay couple in there. It's fine. But I said this before, can you at least make them kind of macho, where you, like the stereotype, the one gay guy picks up the smallest knife because I got this knife.
I actually enjoyed that scene just because what's his face just kind of from Mad TV just kind of stole the show, I thought. And then when
acting was good.
I enjoyed that scene a lot just because it was so fucking hilarious. Like every part of that was funny. There's no suspense, there's no drama, there's no horror really in that scene. It's all comedy, and it works, I thought, extremely well, especially for the 2 actors playing those characters. The other guy is from a bunch of other stuff that I've seen before, and he's fucking hilarious. And the fact that they call themselves Little John and Big John, great, fantastic. It was so good.
It was. Like, I get there's time and place just for that. It just did, to me, it wasn't fitting. I knew what they were trying to do. Like, it wasn't lost over my head. Like, I understood the thing with the knife, but at the same time, it was like, this is supposed to be a serious moment. And you also don't call the police when you see a bloody handprint. Again, logic. And we'll go to the end where Judy Greer's character.
Wait. But before you go to the end, I got one thing.
Of course.
So, Tom Jones, who played Loomis in the flashbacks, did you cry?
No, I'm not. I'm a stable adult.
I did, however, think that was brilliantly done. He looked incredible. The setup of how Michael gets captured and how they played out, I thought it was brilliantly done in that aspect.
I swear, I'm not making a joke when I say this.
Yeah.
When CGI Loomis comes in, which I was fine. I liked it. I liked it. Yeah. when he just the way it's delivered, Michael did it again. It sounds like he soiled himself. Like that's what it comes off of. Oh, he did it. He fucking shit himself again. That's what it comes off.
I didn't get that. I guess
I got it right too much.
But I didn't get but just seeing him, you're lucky you did not go to the theater with me watching that, because I lost, like, I was like a little bitch, like really bad, just like
it was done well. The only thing I had a problem with, another friend of mine picked up on it. It's same with me. Here's my issue with that flashback scene. Main one. I could pick a couple, but the one main issue, where are there 6 fucking bullet holes in that jumper? That took me out. I paused the TV. I had to get up close. At the time, my eyes were starting to get bad.
Right.
I didn't see any bullet holes. And I got confirmation. Yeah, there's no bullet holes.
Like you missed. They're making it like you missed, I bet you.
No, they fucked up. That's the problem.
Or Loomis was shooting blanks.
No, you can't. It's no.
Wait, didn't he have like 11 daughters? So he's definitely not shooting blanks.
Not at all. No, they said they were supposed to, at the end of Halloween 2018. That was, or at the beginning of 2018, they were supposed to have a flashback to the end of Halloween 1. And they were supposed to show this whole thing. And I don't know why they never.
That's where it would be more appropriate. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
I liked that was more real. That like the 6 bullet holes, I can't forgive that. But how Michael's just pretty much he's stopped in his tracks. He's not trying to fight. I believed it. That's believable. He's okay. I did what I'm just trying to get him. Okay, he's a psychopath. It's an odd thing, but I accept that. At the end, when Myers is just killing everybody again in the town.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm building up to a big thing for ends for this. So we got to point this out again. He's killing everybody with ease. And again, they all attack individually. They don't go in a big group and try to kill him. And somehow he finds his way back to his house, avoids the cops to kill Judy Greer's character. And when we get to ends, a psychotic woman making herself crazy, drinking problem, lost her child at one point with child services because she was batshit crazy, had 2 divorces because of the events of what happened to her in a span of about really 15 minutes. What she went through in 1978 haunted her for 40 years, and then under 4 years, she's over the death of her daughter. Anybody else fucking catch that?
Yeah.
Anybody paying attention?
Right. Well, the fact that she's over her daughter and she's over the fact that Michael is like that. She's just over the fact that Michael went after her 40 years ago. Because, like, the entire thing was set up was because she'd been planning for his revenge. Like, he was going to get out. She'd been planning for 40 years for this. And then in the last film, sure, 4 years have gone by. But one, Michael was never found and kills. He was never killed. So he's still out there. And then now she's fine with it. After 40 years, she just moves on.
And I get it.
She's baking pies and making jokes about tits.
Yeah. Well, Judy Greer, in her defense, a bit of a cunt in that movie.
Off. Cameron was the worst fucking.
Yeah.
I'd still take her though.
You would take anybody.
Of course you would, Mike.
Yeah, like Mike's
you
gonna
would
go.
Fuck my female bulldog.
Yeah.
Well,
put a wig on it.
Yeah.
I mean.
I know. I wouldn't say that. That's wrong. You put a wig on, it might look like Mike's mom.
That's a good one.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. So, in the whole thing with ends, we have the Cunningham character, and who gets accidentally kills a kid he was babysitter on Halloween.
Right.
So, he goes through some stuff, of course, and I'll just go to the big parts. Cunningham gets bullied by, I think those kids were in a marching band, high school marching band.
Band nerds, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. He gets bullied by them. At one point, they beat him up. He falls off a bridge by the sewer, by the tunnel that we keep seeing shots of. And Michael Myers, that's where he's been living for 4 years. Just because he's weak now. He's old. He's close to 65 at this point. Can't do it anymore. That one night in 2018 took a lot out of the dude. So they lock eyes, and it's like the evil passes. They almost try to pull off that shit from Halloween 4 to Halloween 5, which was dog shit. Now we got to do with the locking of the eyes. So Cunningham wants to kill. He kills a homeless guy, and but he wants more. And by the way, he tells this to how am I forgetting the character's name? Laurie Strode's granddaughter. Her first name,
Allison.
Allison, like, hey, I killed a dude. He's like, oh, okay. Want to have sex? I've known you now for 3 days, and I'm in love with you because I'm fucking stable.
Right.
So that goes down, and Cunningham, he knows he's missing something. He wants to get the mask. Easily takes it from Myers, by the way. Easily takes it from him.
Even though Myers is supposed to be an immovable object that's completely not of this world, right? Like that's Loomis's whole thing was like, there's nothing inside of him, like, but yet he's in the sewer being dead, basically.
Yeah, just dying, wasting away,
right?
Missing 2 fingers.
Right.
He never bled out from that, by the way. That's a miracle. Again, logic.
Well, the fire, he cauterized. Yeah, he cauterized.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, after enough time went by, should have bled out within just a couple minutes. But we got. But yeah, he takes the mask from them. He puts the mask on, and out of nowhere, Cunningham now he's able to kill these band geeks.
Right.
Kills them
in his stepfather's junkyard. Is that what that was, or business, or whatever, like chop shop?
Yeah, it was a junkyard, pretty much, and. Then he goes after Laurie Strode, and this makes a lot of
you're forgetting the doctor and his slut girlfriend.
Yeah, I saw that was kind of a throwaway. Like, it's easy enough to pick apart. It didn't make any sense. Like,
also, how did Michael get there? Because Corey was on his motorcycle moped thing. So did Myers ride on the back with him, like all kid style?
I thought it never made sense. I kept rewinding, go back. It doesn't make sense, and I didn't want to.
He teleported like he normally would.
That's only Jason.
I'm gonna rather just picture them two on the back of a motorcycle together, and Myers has him like wrapped around his shoulders,
hold him tight.
That's a better visual.
That meme.
Head on the shoulder.
I've seen that meme.
Yeah, it's a better visual.
It is enjoyable.
But the big thing when Cunningham goes to kill Laurie Strode, and he fails. And now all of a sudden she's now prepared because she could foresee this.
Right.
Corey says, if I can't have Allison, nobody else will. And then he slits his own throat.
Mm-hmm.
So bad.
And by the way, I'm going off of this from memory when I first and only watched it, half watching it with cataracts. So I barely saw what I was seeing, but I had to rewind it a few times.
Don't worry, I've watched it a few times. I'll fill your gaps.
I'm filling every single gap that makes this film dog shit. And I can prove they didn't try to piss off fans with this. It was just, I'll get to that.
I know they did.
No, I'll get to that within a minute and a half. Myers comes back, kills Myers. And she writes a book at the end, and she types in, Myers' memory will fade away. Let's examine how idiotic that is. She writes in a book that she's going to sell that people will buy and will read.
She changed that though.
That
because
Myers... No, she doesn't.
It's about people changes shape. Yes, she does though. She says that.
That's the line. She ends the book with his memory will fade. You wrote a whole fucking book on a guy, and you're going to expect his memory to fade.
Right. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Which is not possible.
Exactly. I'm going to write this book about FDR, and people forget about him.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write this great biography about the greatness of Michael Jordan. It doesn't matter. People are going to forget about him. So
Yeah.
that's how I'm going to end with this. Here's why they didn't do this to piss people off. Like they did.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that writer realized. I think he realized.
3 writers.
Yeah, but the main one, Dan McBride.
I'm not sure if he's the main one or not, but I know he's involved.
I know him and David Gordon Green wrote it together.
Yeah.
Who wrote what? I don't know. But
And that's the thing. It's hard to. I'll put blame on everybody. I think we're getting together. I honestly believe this. Because the backstory is they didn't get green light for 1. They got green light for 3.
For 3 right away.
And they pitched something. So a pitch meeting is different, and I don't have a Hollywood experience. I'm going by writers who have talked about this stuff. You write a treatment.
Mm-hmm.
A treatment is different from a script, and then pluralize it by scripts. They see the treatment. Oh my God, this is beautiful. We're on.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my theory, and I believe it's true. I think they got 3/4 of the way done of doing Halloween 2018 and go, fuck. I don't know how we're going to end this. This should have been 1 movie.
Yeah.
That's what happened. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I could definitely see that. Or they, like when they were going to write ends and how they wanted to wrap up their story, I could also see them like, and I don't think a lot of people would have actually been that butthurt about ends, which I'm starting to see online, people actually standing up for the film and liking it now after a couple years. Like I'm seeing a ton of people like support ends now. And I'm like, what the fuck movie did you watch? Like, it doesn't make sense. But I could have seen this, and the studio was like, nope, that's too dark, that's too fucked up.
Yeah,
we can't have that. But I could have seen them completely transferring everything over to Corey, like he's the new Myers, right? Like, and gone in this supernatural fucking dark way, which would have been probably fine. Like, Myers is dead. They kill Myers off. Corey Cunningham's the new Michael. The story continues. But I think the studio probably came in and go, no, we can't have that. Like, we have to have Laurie kill Michael and that be the end. So that's what we got. And it was the shittiest 10-minute fight, even though they were promoting it as this big heavyweight Mike Tyson bout, you know?
And they switched it.
Yeah.
And you can judge me on this, my idea. If I had it, okay, just hit me now. Because I was probably thinking of this. And it first hit me back in 2018, watching it going, they're missing 1 person if they're going to bring everybody back. And then when I left the theater driving, I know they missed 2. I was thinking first they missed Brackett, but we get him in kills. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The first person I thought was, and then it hit me like, they probably can't because he was Halloween 2. Lance Guest. Here's what I would have done if I'm writing this fucker, because I always wanted to have somebody, and most fans probably wouldn't like having an imposter Myers, but if the story can continue,
right,
for it.
And I think just for like with the story that they were presenting in ends throughout the entire thing, like them setting Corey up as the new Michael, that entire fucking movie, I think it just would have made more sense for fans, and fans would have like maybe still hated it, but at least gotten behind it.
Something, yeah. I would have gone this route. I would have had a disheveled, kind of put in that stereotypical recovering addict. Lance Guest, you bring him back, even though, he was in 2, but 2 doesn't exist, but he was still Jimmy, who's working as an orderly at the hospital and took care of Lori. That was her second divorce.
Or first divorce, even.
No, I'd say second, because he can't be the dad of Judy Greer's character. Yeah,
Well, we don't know who the dad is of Judy Greer's character, right?
I would say it has to be the first husband because of her age. So we make the second, and one of the things that they kind of, when he just stops, we have a scene where he's just trying to see her again, he always tries to help. He feels guilty about a lot of shit. Like he feels he might have caused more heartache for and didn't help enough. And they talk about, their son. And Jimmy said, I haven't talked to him probably the same time you have. It's been over 15 years. That's who your Myers is. You go back to the family connection. You go back to that's how. But how do you then? It becomes tougher. You still have to have the real Michael Myers there.
Right.
They could find a way. I always wanted Dr. Loomis's son to pick up that part. Like the character Loomis had a son, and he has an American accent because he was living in America, and never really saw time with his father. His father was obsessed with Myers. Yeah. And caused a divorce, but he still loved his father. That's what I want. I wanted at least that connection. And the overall sadness of it all, and Cole, you'll love this, Rob Zombie really did write a pretty damn good Halloween sequel. It was way different than I would have ever wanted it, but I appreciated it. And all they had to do was have a good Halloween 2, and they couldn't because of the fucking Weinsteins in the studio. Yeah. That's why.
Yeah, they gave it sounds like it gave Rob all the reason to not ever do a major studio again movie.
It is.
And he hated the first one, but he's like, I really wanted to continue my story in 2, and they ended up taking more control on 2 than they even did 1. He's like, I just hated every aspect of that movie, and he became so chopped and screwed from what it was originally supposed to be that it just ended up being what it is. And I still love Rob's 2. I think it's fucking batshit insane, and I love it for that. I love it for that, and all the people he brings in on that, like Richard Brake, Bill Moseley, all those guys are,
He always brings in great actors and actresses from the past and showcases new people.
Right.
That's because, 2 was, I always say, hey, homeless Myers, but it's also, that's how Rob Zombie envisioned,
right.
That at least makes sense to have him look like that. That's a pass.
It makes more sense than him living in a sewer for fucking 5 years.
And the next move is, here's another reboot.
Right.
We're going to remake,
which I'm fine with.
Yeah, we all are. And if they remake Halloween, have it in present.
There's a TV series now, so that's what we'll get next.
Supposedly, yeah.
I hope not. That's one of the, Freddy's Nightmares worked as a TV series. Friday the 13th was false advertisement. Right. Had nothing to do with Voorhees. I remember that as a kid being disappointing because I watched the first Freddy's Nightmare. I was excited. I loved it, and they canceled that right away. Friday the 13th, the series, it's a shame. You name it anything else,
it's probably all right.
Oh, it's great. Yeah. Because as a kid, what's this? Where's Jason? He's going to be killing people every week. That's what I thought. Mm-hmm. Halloween cannot work as Bates Motel made sense to do it as a series.
That was great. I love that show.
That's a great series.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw Massacre wouldn't work. Child's Play couldn't work as a TV series. They tried that shit with Scream.
I like the first 2 seasons of the Scream.
Yeah, I never watched the 3rd season.
The 3rd one is a dumpster fire.
It looked like it. That's why I never watched it.
Yeah, but the first 2 seasons were really fucking good.
Yeah, really I couldn't get into it. I watched it and go, this is not for me.
Yeah, and you're definitely not the demographic that they were going after, right? You were 20 years past the prime of what they were going after.
We want to go after a guy in his early 30s who can't get enough pussy and can't stay faithful to a girl.
Right. Yeah.
But wait, so that's why I liked it. then.
Correct, Mike.
Because I
That's
don't
We're
get
correct.
going to
enough
go after a celibate by force, half a retard. Who thinks
Yeah.
it's fair?
half. That's I'd say 3/4, but you know, that's you want to say half.
I mean, I was on board with the new Crystal Lake series that was supposed to be coming out, but that was just because I was on board because Brian Fuller was doing it, and anything Brian Fuller touches is pure magic. So, but now that he's not in it, probably not going to be as good.
Yeah, it's tough to have Millennium. God, with Lance Parkinson. That was an excellent TV show that I loved. There were some good. There were good shows decades ago. It's. I think if you're going to do a horror TV show, just have it be original. Don't go after. Just do something different.
I don't know. Chucky worked. I love the Chucky series.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
I know it's there. I didn't. I said Chucky wouldn't work as a TV series. I didn't know it's there. I never watched it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're missing out.
It's fantastic, and it's really bummed me out that it got canceled. But I'm hoping somebody else
canceled, rightfully so, because there was no. I'm sure there wasn't a lot of people of color or trans to represent, and I only watch shows that at least have 80% of those.
Oh
no,
no,
it was. I mean,
gay all over the place.
I was gonna say, Don Mancini's gay as shit. So like his two main characters were gay in the movie in the TV show.
Yeah, but not gay enough. I need a dick in the mouth. Gay.
Oh no, dude, you don't understand how gay they, dude.
Like there's dudes making out. I mean,
yeah,
I don't got time for that. No, yeah. Before we go with it, I'm happy. I don't have to go out trick or treating.
Yeah, your girls are too old though, right?
They didn't want to go last year. That's fine.
How old are they?
11 and 13.
Man,
yeah.
13 is probably when I quit. Maybe.
See, I told you like the reason I quit. It doesn't. It sounds so bad. When I moved to the suburbs, go from Philly, where you can hit 400 houses in less than a quarter mile.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Suburbs, I'm out of breath.
Yeah.
I got the Michael Myers mask on. That's what I won as in '95. And I had the Halloween 6 mask that Mike now has that's signed by George P. Wilbur. That was the mask I wore. He can't breathe in that fucker. I had a jumper, the whole thing. I'm like, oh, fuck this, dude. I'm just going to, like, halfway through, I took the mask off. I'm a mechanic at this point. Like
I'm a poor man.
Yeah. Like they say, like, damn, these houses are far apart.
Right.
Yeah, there comes the age where you don't do it. I'm also now, like, I'm saved now, but so far I'm on the right track with this parenting shit. They both don't like Taylor Swift. I won there.
I love Taylor.
She's awful. She's just AI can write better lyrics than her.
She writes bangers. I can't help it.
Her songs that she doesn't write in terms of music might be decent, but lyrically, I haven't heard the songs. I've read the lyrics. Like, this is dog shit. This is dog shit, dude. There's
again, not the audience.
Yeah, well, I'm educated.
And not a woman.
Again, educated. Is that a bit sexist? No, I got to now worry in a couple years when they go to those high school Halloween parties. Like, what are they fucking dressing as? Like, I'm at the point, dude.
Make sure that
I'm at the point. Seriously, both of them came to me next year and go, Dad, we both want to transition to boys. I'm all fucking for it now. Like, I could dodge some shit. I'm all for this trans shit now if it's going to benefit me. No, yeah, go be dudes. I'm good. I don't want to meet your potential rapist at the door. I got to get back to the gym. You think I'm going to lift for my fucking health? I gotta look like I can terrorize somebody again.
Mhm. Insane.
At least, Cole, you don't have to worry about that. I don't know why you don't want to have kids. They're great.
No,
Let
no
me
kids.
rephrase that. Having kids are wonderful when they're actually good.
Yeah.
Like,
No, my brother has kids. That's good enough for me.
yeah, you can be the uncle. I
Yeah.
learned this too. I learned this before them because I have a niece and nephew, and I believe when parents say, "Oh, I don't have a favorite,"
That's bullshit.
yeah, I got a favorite nephew. My niece, she's a piece of shit.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you that I was my mom's favorite and my brother was my dad's favorite. Just the way it is.
Yeah, it's well, I honestly, because they're not of my blood, it's truly equal. Because they're not causing me issues.
Sure.
I'm the favorite. Kids have their favorites. I'm their favorite.
Right.
And here's all I got. I don't yell. I don't raise my voice. I will never raise my hands to them.
Yeah.
I got a look. That's all. I just give a look, and that works. Problem is, that's all I got. Like, I'm shooting fucking blanks. They realize there's no bullets coming out of that chamber. I'm fucked.
I give it another 3 years.
Yeah, it's like I do. Like, I don't want to. I'm not going to raise the voice, guy, but I don't want to go psychopath. Like they put locks on their doors. Like, hey, you're locked in your room now with no Wi-Fi for 5 days, and we're just going to shovel water here and there. So and you're going to pee in this bucket. Like, next thing you know, they're on OnlyFans. That's what I got to fuck up nowadays. That's what happens. It's like you fucked up before. You're at the local strip club. A couple people know about it. Now the whole internet knows. Can't do this.
Exactly.
Yeah. With what we end with, what would be the best movie to watch on this old bit? Best movie to watch on actually, if you're on a Halloween spirit, what would be a movie you'd tell a horror fan to watch to get them into the Halloween spirit? Mike, we'll start with you because your answer is going to be the absolute shits.
Halloween 6.
Of course it would be.
Yeah, of course.
But besides Halloween 6, Mike, let's see the guy or a gal really. They go, no, I don't have that. What's the second choice you're going to give them? And it's not a Halloween film either.
Get them in the Halloween spirit.
Yep.
WNUF Halloween special.
That's a good one.
All right.
I finished watching that last night again.
It's coming out.
I love that movie.
It's a really good.
I love it.
I want to see the sequel, but you can't fucking find it anywhere.
I know. I've been looking, and I can't. Yeah.
There's a lot of decent to great movies that are just not in quote unquote print, which means somebody doesn't have the rights.
Well, this one was like a really low budget, and they only released like 100 copies of it. And then I think it was on Bloody Disgusting Screambox, but I'm not fucking paying for that. So
yeah, that used to be cool. It was a great concept a long time ago. It doesn't hold up now.
Yeah.
Cole, which one would I know you're going to come with something good?
Well, now I have a lot of pressure on me because I was just going to say something really lame, but it's something that gets me into the spirit every year. And that's honestly just, I fucking love Hocus Pocus.
No, it's
honestly like, it's the perfect, like, it's a little spooky. It's a little terrifying. And it's a brilliantly done kids movie.
I did she's my best friend now. I was with for 5 years. That was her favorite movie. I remember we watched it together for the first time. I saw it briefly when it first came out. I stopped myself because I kept commenting on how ugly Sarah Jessica Parker was. And I don't want to ruin it for her.
Sure.
But there's some, when it comes to Christmas time, if it has to be a specific Christmas movie, the one I like, and it's in a realm of a Hocus Pocus in a way, Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I saw that in theater with my dad. Like that's definitely a Hall of Christmas time movie for sure.
And I think that can get the person who loves action films in the Christmas spirit because it's Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
But for mine, I go with because of the scenery, how everything's shot, the acting, and I do still have great memories of watching this in the theater. Go back to 1989. Stan Winston directed one film, and that's all he needed to do. And it's called Pumpkinhead.
I love Pumpkinhead.
That still kicks ass.
Mm-hmm. It just still, like, for me, Pumpkinhead is more of like a August film to try to like gear up. Just because like it doesn't hit the fall vibes that I need to get there, but that's just me. And that's like it's like a kid on a dirt bike, August film. Like
I see it more
getting in the mindset.
I get it more October because of how everything changes with certain set locations.
Sure.
And it does remind me of a slightly warm autumn day. But god damn, what a film.
Yeah. It's such a brilliant performance from what's his face too in that film.
Lance Harkinson. Yes,
Lance Harkinson.
That look he gives when he finds his son dead and they ask perfect. It is funny. I saw that movie and they seemed like they came out the same day, but they didn't. But I saw a movie my dad wanted to see, and it was a horror movie. And I saw it 3 times in my life. I should rewatch it. It's been nearly 25 or close to probably 30 years since I saw this movie. Scarecrow from 1989. Saw that in the theater, and I was a little bit terrified. Then later on, I saw Pumpkinhead, and I remember I went to Blockbuster, and it's like it was the first week of December, and I wanted to rent Pumpkinhead, but I couldn't remember for some reason. Like Pumpkin, and I saw Scarecrow, and I got confused, and okay, this is the movie I was thinking of. Put it in. I'm like, fuck, it's this shit movie that's not as good as Pumpkinhead. And I remember having that on the background while me and my mom were putting up the Christmas tree. Yeah, She let me, like, my dad. He would on weekends he worked nights, bartending. He worked 2 jobs. And yeah, that's a great Christmas time memory there. Just my sister's upstairs, probably eating fast food and listening to hair metal. She wasn't going to help. And yeah, that's a Christmas, like my Christmas memories of putting up the tree with my mom has that movie, and then the other one was Used Cars a year later with Kurt Russell.
And
after that was Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I never put on a Christmas movie when we put up the Christmas tree. And it sounds like it came from a broken home. No, my dad was working. He's working. Right. Yeah, he had a little side pussy on the side. But
who doesn't though?
Hey, where do you think I learned it from? Not nowadays. I've calmed down. I haven't done that in over 6 years.
Wow.
I'm a good man now.
You're turning over a new leaf. I wish I could say the same.
Yeah. You know what it is? It's fucking kids are involved.
Yeah.
That's dude.
Yeah.
I can't. Plus, I'm old now. I'm like my fucking. No.
It's too much work. It's too much work.
It's like I got all this. I got the money I'm making. I got to make sure they got nice clothes. This bitch wants a pumpkin spice, whatever. I can't put it on some side pussy.
Right.
I'm not gonna ruin my shit over some side piece. And I told you, Cole, like the one girl I stopped seeing just to pursue and put a ring on it. And it's before anything got serious. Like I'm pot committed.
You are.
Can I see the one that you stopped seeing?
Let's see if I have that. I screen because I have the video
right there.
Oh wait,
you know where that Regal Theater is that you talk about? I'm like literally less than 5 minutes from that Regal Theater is where I live.
I know exactly where you live.
Yeah.
I know the development you're in. At least you have a nice little side entrance. But yeah, no, I think all 3 are actually very good choices. Because it's hard to find. For me to get into Halloween spirit, there are there's only certain types of movies that I'm like, okay, yeah, like especially July or August, if I put it on, I'll do the. That's not our best, but I'll have other photos I could send. Through.
Oh, I see something. Yeah.
Yeah, Mike will probably he'll ejaculate. Let me. You actually did that one. Mike actually admitted, Cole. Before we go, Mike admitted that he ejaculated, that he pleasured himself to a girl I was seeing.
I'm trying to remember which one this was.
That would be Megan. She was a redhead.
Oh yes, correct. Well, she was in Horlick too, so that's what you did to me.
Yeah, so it's my fault that Mike.
Yep, right. It's your fault that Mike's a fucking weirdo.
Well, Skippy was attracted to her, so I just put that on myself in real life.
Any guy with a pulse. Oh, she was very, very, very gorgeous.
Oh, I remember. You sent me pictures.
I had some conquest in my days. Now they might call it unconsensual sex, but who am I?
Right.
No, I've like I said, the one thing is I never lied my way into a girl's bed. I was always up front. Was never the best boyfriend, but hopefully none of that shit will come back to haunt me where my daughters now date nothing but scumbags every night. That's all that goes through my head. But, well, it's been fun for a Rabbit in Red. And Mike actually had a very nice intro for first time.
I take advantage when I can get you do these because it's very tough to nail you down to do anything these days.
And it's not because I'm so big of that. No, this is always fun for me to do, and a little bit of like free time I have okay, let's do it. That's why I could never commit to doing. And I have two jobs that I have. One I definitely it's pretty much always from home anyway, and the other one, hey, I got to hit the road about 5 days a week, which I fucking love. But yeah, it's nice to. As sick as I am, should be on disability, but no, I'm just going to work because I think being physical and being on your feet is actually helping, if anything.
Yeah, it keeps your body moving.
Yeah, I could never. I can't be disabled. That's not who I am. It's not. That's if I know I can. I'm breathing. Everything's good. I could. Yeah. But remember, to don't be a dick this Halloween. Hand candy out. Do not. I hate to tell people how to live their lives. If you have a political sign out there, whether it's Trump or Harris, remove it now. Put it up November 1st. Put it up November 1st. You're asking for trouble, unfortunately, because there's a lot of people who are unreasonable. That's why I don't think you should do it. I think it's stupid to trash anybody's house because of a person that you don't agree with, and they do. Best advice I'm going to give you: a bowl of candy. No. Actually, the real trick to the bowl of candy is this: if you're leaving for an event, you're not going to be home. Don't put out the bowl of candy. You put out the bowl with the take one with an empty bowl. That's how you fucking do it. You put a couple empty wrappers in there, right? It looks like all these fucking kids. They're so inconsiderate. They took all the candy and then they put the wrappers in. That's what you do, people. You don't have the money for it. Thirdly, last thing, hey, you don't want any trick-or-treaters? I posted this before. You put a sex offender lives here in your front yard side, right? Problem fucking solved.
Ain't nobody coming to that door.
Yeah, only a fat kid who's willing to take a chance. That's who comes there. God, I didn't even write that. Who wrote hates fat people? I would never say such a thing.
I don't know. And before we do leave, I have one other thing. Now, this does not sound like somebody getting off, but this is probably one of the most untrue sounds in a horror film. Here.
That sounded like
He just went. Yeah, but that was Kevin Bacon when he's like, ugh! And that's when he's supposed to like nut, but it doesn't sound like that. It's just,
Maybe that's how Kevin Bacon nuts, though.
Yeah, it was a
But
silent
that doesn't
guy.
sound natural.
Yeah.
Yeah, but but I've never like I've never made noises like that. I don't know how people make noises like that.
Mine's usually this. It's a, oh God, keep going. Oops. Oops. That's mine. And then I immediately look at my phone and see the nearest Planned Parenthood. I'm kidding. Full disclosure, I've done that one time in my life because she wanted it, right? And when I was done, I go, I'm not doing that again. He said, why? I said, it's what I said, like, because clarity comes to you after your climax. I said, now I know what heroin people are like when they're chasing that first high. That was the best orgasm I ever had. I'm not fucking doing it again because I know what the consequences could be. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Not like Robert De Niro in This Boy's Life. You get it two ways. It's my house. Either get it on your face or you get it on your face. It's only two options. His was you either get it laying on your sides or you get it doggy style. Still a good fantasy. Mm-hmm. But all right, Mike. This year you should actually live stream yourself giving out candy to people.
I don't do that anymore. They come to if we have people, they come to the other door. So I do not give out candy.
It might hit your door up. I don't know.
You know what? I should put the light on and see if they come through to that door, because I did that last year. I put the light on and nobody came to the door, but they probably knew that some amputee
they got it to the one place
and the cripple were in that size. So
they have a better relationship with your brother there. You say, hey, this year I'll give out the candy. I think you should do that.
Yeah, well,
honestly, I think it would be good for you to interact with people. Seriously. I think it's a good thing.
Well, that's
Cole loves doing it.
Non-existent at this point, unfortunately.
I know Cole loves to give out candy. You love Halloween.
I do. The whole house is done, decorated, outside and in. So I always make it apparent to make sure I'm home that night to hand out candy to kids, because that trunk or treat shit is ruining trick or treat, and it's unfortunate. Kids aren't getting the childhood memories like that we all have from trick or treating.
Well, I know. We did the 1 year when we were at the other place. I can tell you the one thing, living with a staunch Republican, which I'm not. I'll give them, I always say this when it comes to politics, Republicans give out the king size shit. They really fucking do. Democrats, you better step your fucking game up. I still won't forget 2020. Nearly anybody with a fucking Biden sign had their lights off, you cocksuckers. Everyone with a Trump sign. Yo, yeah, we got king size Kit Kats, king size Hershey. What do you want? Just have both. Just have both. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're good. We got this election. We're going to be fine for the next 4 years. Yeah, they were wrong, but they were good people is what I'm saying. Fucking Democrats, step your shit up. You always want something for free. When it's time for your turn, you're fucking up. Just saying. Just next time, if my girls want to go trick or treating, I'm going to bring a black friend so they would have guilt. They definitely have to give candy. They might give a fucking laptop out to them. They got so much white guilt around here. It's amazing. Well, Mike, you're the host of the show. End it with the sign off.
Yes.
Oh, dear God. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm sure, Cole, you have to eat.
Yep.
There we go.